Hello everybody, this is Player 1 with Basement Hero, bringing you a point of view guide on the Priest for the 6.0.2 patch on World of Warcraft. I am not going to be focusing on Holy. Holy probably has had some changes, I don't know what they are, but I have not played Holy in years, so I'm not going to focus on Holy. I will give some quick descriptions on Discipline and Shadow though. Biggest changes for Discipline. Renew. Renew is gone. That's a big one. The greater heal is gone. That's a kind of a big change as well. Other than that, crit is still your best stat to focus on. A lot of the stuff with discipline is the same. Another big change is Mindbender. It does restore mana if you use it, but if you are not using Mindbender, Shadow Fiend does not restore mana anymore. Rapture and Hymn of Hope are gone, so you're not going to be seeing a lot of smite spam anymore. You're going to see a lot more discipline priests focusing on mana conservation and observation and management. So that's kind of what discipline has in store. It's still going to be good. It's going to have a little changes like that. Penance is still going to be good. You probably won't be using Penance to top players off. I'd still use it just for offensive. Cascade, Divine Star, and Halo had a few little changes, but nothing seriously worth mentioning. The biggest changes to the Priest, in my opinion, come into play in Shadow. With Shadow form, the first thing to mention is that... Oops, I have unspent talent points. There you go, there's the first thing to mention. I think that's because a few different things. Power Infusion is one of those. That one... I think it was Power Infusion. Yeah, okay. A Power Infusion affects all haste now. It's not just for casting. So when you're using Power Infusion, your Mindbender or Shadow Fiend will hit more. So that's something to think about. If you use Power Infusion, you might want to pick Mindbender. Because as you can see, Shadow Fiend just attacks now, no longer restores mana. But anyway, where I was going for is Mastery. Mastery is the big change right now with Shadow Priests. Its difference is that your Mastery increases the damage of Mind Blast, Mind Spike, and Mind Flayed by 45%. So, even though that's a really good Mastery, you still want to go for crit. Let's see here, Mastermind is new. Speaking of Master, I still have unspent talent points. Let's see if I can find Mastermind real quick. There we go, Mastermind passive. You get 5% more haste stats from all sources, just like pretty much every class now. They always get these bonus 5%. Let's see here. As Shadow form goes, your level 90 talents all only do DPS now. You no longer get the heals from them. And speaking of heals, that's a few little changes as well, since they took out the Renew. Can't use Renew in Shadow form anymore, but you also cannot use Binding Heal in Shadow form anymore. I think they took that one out as well. I don't see it, so there you go. As Shadow Priests go, though, even with the Mindbender and Shadow Fiend change, mana is not really going to be an issue. It's only going to be an issue when it comes into healing. So if you heal, you might want to focus on watching your mana a little bit when you're playing Shadow Priest, but if you're just doing straight-up DPS, don't worry about the mana too much. Dispersion is another one. That one no longer regenerates mana. It's just defensive cooldown now. One of the other changes here, let me see if I can find it, was Vampiric Touch. Here we go. One of the PvP Gloves abilities was that if you dispel Vampiric Touch, they flee in horror for 3 seconds. Now that is just an innate ability with Vampiric Touch. Shadow Word Pain no longer procs your shadowy apparitions. That kind of sucks. I don't know where the shadowy apparition... I don't know, maybe did they take... No, here they are. When your Shadow Word Pain damage over time critical strikes, you also create a shadowy version of yourself. So it's just not on ticks, it's just on crits. That's one of the big reasons you want to focus on crit, not just as discipline, but as shadow as well. Crit and haste. Crit is greater than haste is greater than mastery, basically. Devouring Plague is a little bit of a change. With Devouring Plague before, you could cast it Pretty much anytime you had a shadowy orb, now it must take 3 shadowy orbs, and it's kind of a set damage now, so just when you get 3 shadowy orbs, you cast it and you're pretty much done with it. So here, what else? Mind Blast. Mind Blast is a 9-second cooldown to start with, but if you have haste, haste reduces the cooldown. It, I believe with like, I don't know. I think if you really got your haste up there, you could get it down to like a 3-second cast, like cooldown kind of thing, which would be kind of cool. But you want to focus more on crit, as I was saying. I think that pretty much sums it up. Oh no, boy, more guild requests. Prayer of Mending, no longer an instant cast. Now you have a cast time for it. That's kind of a bummer. And that is about it for priests. Hopefully this helps just with some general information. There's, of course, a lot of small details for all these classes, but hopefully that helps a little. And this is Player 1 with Basement Hero. Talk to you next time.